Royal Roads University acknowledges that the campus is located on the traditional lands of the Esquimalt and Songhees ancestors and families who have lived here for thousands of years. This land has been part of the fabric of the life of Indigenous communities long before Hatley Castle was built, and it will be long into the future. It is with gratitude that we now learn and work here where the past, present, and future of Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, faculty, and staff come together. So today's session is a webinar on the Master of Arts in Intercultural and International Communication. So we have Dr. Zhenyi Li, the School of Communication and Culture School Director and Masters of Intercultural and International Communication blended program head. That is a mouthful. And we also have Dr. Juana, who is the Masters of Intercultural. You know what, I'm going to call it MAIIC, and that's actually what we call it, and that's a quick way to use an abbreviation, and that way I won't stumble over it as much. She's the on-campus program head. And we also have Andrea Torres-Lopez, the recruitment manager. My name is Yamara Angus. I'm an education advisor. And we also have Tanya Swan, who's a program associate here today. We also have enrollment advisors in the chat. So they're here to monitor the chat, answer any questions. So if you have questions that come up throughout today's presentation, please pop them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer it. So a quick overview of today's session, a get to know one another, and a quick poll. So is everybody ready? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to do a really quick poll. Awesome. So I'm going to launch the poll right now. And the poll question is, which program delivery are you interested in? And it's a multiple choice, and you can actually select more than one of the options as well. So we have the option of on-campus program delivery, September 2021 intake, the option of blended program delivery, March 2022 intake, not sure yet, and those are the three options. And don't worry, we'll be going into detail about all of these choices in today's session, but we just wanted to get a bit of a feel for the room. All right, I'm going to be ending the polling in about 5 seconds. Wonderful. So it looks like, I'm going to share the results. It looks like about 40% of the people here are interested in the on-campus program delivery, September 2021 intake. And about 40%, oh, that's a tie, are interested in the blended program delivery, March 2022 intake, with about 20% not being sure yet. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that. We'll also be doing a brief overview of the Royal Roads University experience. We'll be talking about program-specific information, the application process, and we'll have a time at the end for questions. So at Royal Roads University, first names first is really important to us. And you'll see this, that we get to know your name very quickly because you're more than a number to us. You're important, and your career journey and your journey are unique, and we acknowledge that. And we really believe in learning together forever, which is why we have cohort models. And we also believe that life is also an education. And you'll see this more when we talk about our flexible admission policy, how we understand that everybody's journey to the school and how they get here is different. And we acknowledge that. And we believe in that integration of the real world and the classroom. There's no in here and out there. It's integrated, it's together. We see the real world as a classroom as well. And Royal Roads University is an Ashoka U Changemaker Campus. And we're recognized for being a leader in change and social innovation. And we're one of over 40 different colleges across the globe that are committed to social innovation and change making. And we're located in Victoria, BC. Give me a party emoji if you've ever been to Victoria, BC. I'd love to know. All right, I see a few people have been here before. That's great. So we're in Canada on Vancouver Island. The closest large cities are Vancouver and Seattle. Top 3 industries in Victoria are advanced technology, tourism and hospitality, and education. And we're one of the mildest climates in Canada. You can go for hikes almost all year round here, walks, bike rides. It's not far, it's a few hours away to drive to surf. Like, we're a very mild climate and there's a lot to do all year round. And these are some images of Royal Roads University. The top left is Hatley Castle. You might even recognize Hatley Castle from movies such as X-Men or Deadpool. You can give me a thumbs up if you've seen any of these movies. And you can give me a party emoji if you're planning on watching one of these movies later today to see if you can recognize Hatley Castle in them. And then on the top right is Esquimalt Lagoon. You can see the lagoon from campus. And then the bottom left is Charlie's Trail. And that's one of my favorite places to go for a lunchtime walk on campus. And at Royal Roads University, we have been teaching online learning for over 25 years. Wonderful. So I'm so pleased to welcome Dr. Zhenyi Li and Dr. Juana Du to speak more about the program structure.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Amaran. So really very glad to be here and to see so many prospective students joining us today for this webinar. And I see you are located at different locations or even countries. And I think that actually speaks to the beauty of this program. As we provide education to our learners in intercultural and international communication, and our learners also bring your own cultural experience, your diverse background and insights to this program for studying together. And I have to let you know that currently we do have students from more than 10 different countries studying in the September on-campus cohort, which started last year. So I'd like to provide you an overview of the program structure and talk a little bit about the special features of the MAIC program. So this is a 13-6 credit program, and we have MAIC blended program, which usually starts in spring, and the on-campus program usually start in September. So these two programs have very similar structure and flexible structure. Students will need to learn 4 different modules, which are all connected with each other as an integrated part of the program curriculum. So recently we conducted a program major revision to enhance the quality of our program curriculum. And one of the emphasis is really to build a stronger balance between theory and practice. So that will help you to see a clear path of academic and competence development and help you to develop a goal of professional and career once you start in the program, even at a very early stage in the studies of the program. And another feature of the program is the high impact experiential learning. As students studying in this program, will have chance to work with your team members, your cohort members, your instructors on different scenarios, different cases and projects, and to apply those theories and frameworks through practice and experiential learning. And you will have a lot of chance to learn and reflect collectively and independently, and to develop competence while you are studying in this program. And we offer 2 different milestone options to our learners, which include research paper and intercultural learning project. And you will need to choose one from those in order to complete your studies in the program. Next slide, please. Great, thank you. So now you can see a list of the learning modules. To start studying the program, you will need to complete 1 week online orientation to prepare studying in the program. And the core theme of the module 1 is building a theoretical foundation. That means you will learn those basic theories, frameworks, perspectives, and paradigms in 2 courses, 515 Intercultural Theory and Practice, and 613 Communication for Social Change and Development. And then in module 2, there are 2 courses on organizational communication, which is 551, and also 613 research method. So these two courses will help you to continue to explore communication issues in the organizational context and to learn those essential communication methods and skills. And the research method course will also help you to develop a research proposal and prepare you to conduct a research project during the second year of the study in the program. So built upon the learning in both Module 1 and Module 2, you will continue to practice and further develop competence in Module 3. And the core theme of Module 3 is developing competence in intercultural context. So this is where you will learn two courses, 622, intercultural communication competence, and 516, global thought and communication. And during the first year of the study in the program, you will also have chance to learn the year 1 anchor course, which is 613.8. It is a graduate seminar. So you will have chance to participate in multiple guest lectures, discussions, conversations with the guest speaker and the course instructor. And you will have chance to present your own learning in a very small scale graduate conference to wrap up your learning in year 1. So move forward to the second year studying in this program. We actually offer 2 different options for Module 4, depending on which year the intake starts. So for instance, for on-campus program, we offer Module 4A, transforming global and local community in all the years, such as this September in 2021. And the next year in 2022, we are going to offer the module involving creativity in a digital landscape. So later, I'm going to give you more details about those courses in different modules. And I'd also like to invite you to review those module and the course titles on our web page. So you can make a decision which one you would like to take based on your personal interest, based on your self-goal of professional and academia development. And then the year 2 anchor project include 2 different options. IICS 616, which is research paper, and 617, which is intercultural learning project. And I'll talk a little bit more in the next slide. Okay, great. So here you can see a list of the year 1 courses, and you can find all of those very interesting topics in the area of intercultural and international communication. And those topics will help you to learn those basic and different perspectives, paradigms, framework, and scholar discussion in the area of intercultural and international communication. And I'd like to mention one course in particular, which I highlighted in yellow, 621, intercultural communication competence. And actually, this is also a new course in the program revision we just completed recently. So this course actually will provide a wonderful chance to get yourself familiar with those scholar discussions and work on intercultural competence, and to learn those different frameworks and different dimensions. And you will also have chance to practice the intercultural communication competence framework by engaging exercise, instructional activities. For instance, you will do some group work engaging with organizations and communities. So while learning this course on intercultural communication competence, actually you will have a lot of chance to interact with your cohort members, to interact with your instructors, to learn from your group members from a different cultural background, which all contribute to develop the individual competence, individual cultural competence as well. And the next slide, I can show you the year 2 courses. So this fall, we are going to offer 3 courses in module 4, which is 625 communication for health and well-being, 645 migration and diaspora studies in global context, and 575 social marketing. This module will be offered for the 2021 intake. And for next year, in 2022, in module 4, we are going to offer 613.7 digital data and social media, 527 enhanced communication creativity and diversity, as well as 625 communication for health and well-being. So in this slide, I also highlighted several topics which are new courses proposed during the program revision. So as you can see, those topics actually capture and reflect on the latest trends and scholar work in intercultural and international communication, such as 614.5 migration and diaspora studies in global context. This is a very interesting topic, emphasizes the communication aspect of migration and diaspora studies. And you will have chance to discuss with your instructors about topics, including identity, stereotypes, community development. And you will also learn those applied skills to working with refugees and immigration community. And for IICX 613.7, which is digital data and social media, this is another new course which are really chaired by our students once they were invited to provide feedback to our curriculum. And this course actually served 2 different purposes in the program curriculum. So firstly, you can tell from the title, actually, this course will present the theoretical discussion on social media and the impact of social media on studies of interaction of human beings. And the second, this is also a digital method course that will introduce some methodology debates in digital humanity and big data. So all of those very interesting and exciting topics. So you will have a chance to learn those basic skills and analytical tools, including to do some basic statistical analysis, network analysis, and data visualization. And another course I have highlighted in the slide is IICS 617 Intercultural Learning Project. This is also a milestone project option for you to work on a project in order to tackle some real-world problems with communication sectors, with organizations. And you will have a chance to work with a particular organization or community locally or internationally, and to deliver your project outcomes in multiple formats, as we provide the different choices for you to complete the intercultural communication learning project. So for instance, you can write a field report, you can do a program evaluation, or you can deliver a communication plan, training proposal, policy papers. Really depends on the interest and the real question you want to tackle by working with a particular organization on this project. So in the next slide, so here is also a copy of the program schedule, which we also posted on the school web page. So as I mentioned earlier, each year we are going to run the different options of module form. So I would invite you to take a close look at the program schedule to see what are those topic areas you feel most passionate about, which you feel will really help you to further develop your academic and professional career in near future. And this, for the intake, which will start this September, we are going to run the module transforming global and local community. So you can see those topics included in the course schedule. So that's a very quick review of the program structure and the schedule. And now let me invite my colleague Zhenyi to see if you have anything to add and to also talk about the certificate program.
Thank you, Juana. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the participants. I was amazed, like, find some of you are attending our webinar at midnight and in different time zones. So thank you very much. And we try to keep this as clear, as brief as possible. But then do not hesitate to send email to us for your particular questions. And like Juana just introduced, our master's degree program has 2 intakes. So as our graduate certificate program in strategic global communication. And this graduate certificate program embeds in our master's degree program, which means that it is the identical first 3 courses that you are going to take in the master's degree program. And this graduate certificate program is completely transferable to our master's degree program. And it's designed for the students who hasn't yet decided if they have 2 years or 18 months to complete a degree program, but would like to join us as early as possible. And so we have many graduate certificate students finally transfer themselves to the degree program. And we also have graduates with the graduate certificate satisfied with the result that they took the first 3 courses in our degree program. And then they continued with other master's degree program at Royal Roads. So it's a 3 months long, 9-week online with 2-week residency graduate certificate program. And if you are taking part in the September intake, you actually can complete that on campus as well. And the 3 courses we will offer is identical as the degree program: the intercultural theory, the organizational communication, and communication for development, plus the introduction to academic integrity as a required course for all the degree and graduate certificate programs. So for those who are interested in our program but would like to invest minimum time, this is a good choice for you. And we offer these graduate certificate program together with the degree program. So we have 2 intakes, September this year, March next year. And Emerald, are we going to have the intake due dates in the next slide?
They're a little bit further in the slide.
A little bit further, and you can talk about that. And so, yeah. So basically, the graduate certificate program is a good choice. You know, if you are considering shorter engagement with our programs. And I think Juana and I, we are ready to check the chat box and answer your questions while Emra is going to lead us to the other information.
Wonderful. Thank you, Zhenyi, and thank you, Juana. So I will be talking about how to apply. So as mentioned earlier in today's presentation, we have standard admission and flexible admission. So the standard admission policy is completion of a 4-year or comparable undergraduate degree from a recognized post-secondary institution. And we also ask for evidence of having sufficient knowledge, skills, and abilities to complete a demanding academic course of study at a master's level. And work or volunteer experience is an asset. As mentioned, we do have a flexible admission. And what I wanted to mention is that all of our applications are reviewed case by case. So make sure that you apply, don't self-select out. The flexible admission is there for if you don't fit the standard admission and you're still interested in being a part of the program. So applicants without an undergraduate degree, but more than 3 years, 90 credits of relevant post-secondary education should have at least 3 years of relevant work experience, preferably in a leadership capacity. And applicants with 2 to 3 years, 60 to 90 credits of relevant post-secondary education should have at least 5 years of relevant work experience in the leadership capacity. And applicants with less than 2 years of relevant post-secondary education should have at least 10 years of high-level professional communication experience in a leadership capacity. And if you're unsure if you fit this, please do reach out to Enrollment, as they're really a great resource to ask these questions to. We also have an English language requirement. So English is the primary language of instruction and communication at Royal Roads University. And if your primary language is not English, all applicants must meet our English language requirement through one of 3 ways. So we have a few different options for you. One of the ways is submission of an official English language proficiency score. The second way is graduation from college or university at which English was the primary language of instruction in an English-speaking country. And the third way is completion of a pathway program through the Global Learning and Language Center at Royal Roads. Wonderful. Now, how to apply? So in order to apply online, you will need to create a login with an email address. And you will also be required to submit supporting documents. So the first supporting document is official transcripts. And we ask that you please submit all official transcripts from post-secondary institutions currently or previously attended. And transcripts are considered official if they're submitted by directly by the registrar or a recognized authority in the institution's original sealed envelope. And we also ask for a personal statement of intent. So there is more information about this on the website, but a quick overview of what that means is your personal statement should be at least a 3-page letter, and it should indicate your motivation for applying to the MAIIC program. And you also want to make sure to comment on your personal and career goals and how you expect the program to help you reach those personal and professional career goals. And we also ask for 2 letters of reference, and your application, these letters of reference can be from an academic and professional reference. And a bit of a pro tip for the letters of reference: if you actually give the people writing your letters of reference your personal statement, that will actually give them more context to why you're applying for the program and will help support them in writing your letter of reference. So definitely start with your personal statement. And as well, a detailed structured resume. So this is beyond that 2-page resume that you would use to apply for a job. It's a really detailed resume that can include information such as education, your work experience, international and intercultural experience, training, professional development, volunteer and unpaid work experience, English language skills. Sorry, that's a mouthful, it's a lot, as well as professional memberships and affiliations. And the online application fee is $126.28. And there's more information on the website. I'm pretty sure one of the enrollment advisors will pop in how to apply in the chat there for you. Wonderful. So this is the slide that Zhenyi was referring to, the key dates. I don't know if anybody here wants to keep track of how many times I say the word 2021 or 2022. It can be a bit of a contest, but I'll be saying those a lot and I will try my best to keep it nice and clear. So the key dates for the on-campus MAIIC. So we have a fall intake in 2021. So I guess that's the first count of 2021. The start date is September 6, 2021, and the application deadline is June 7th, 2021. For the 2022 MAIIC fall intake, the start date is September 5th, 2022, with an application deadline of June 6th, 2022. So this is for the on-campus. For the blended, the key dates for the 2022 spring intake is March 7th, 2022. That's the start date with an application deadline of December 7th, 2021. All of this information is on the website and it's available there, and it's always kept most up to date on the website. So I highly recommend referring to the website. If you are interested in the GCSGC, so the Grad Cert in Strategic Global Communication, we do have the start date of September 6, 2021 with an application deadline of June 7th, 2021, as well as the following year. If you're interested in that intake, March 7th, 2022, and the application deadline is December 7th, 2021. Did anybody keep track of how many times I said 2021 versus 2022? You can pop it in the chat. I don't have any prizes, but you can pop that in the chat there. Awesome. So it's very important that I mention financial aid and awards. We understand that school can be expensive and that financial planning is an important component and consideration of early educational planning. And our financial aid and awards specialists have the resources and answers you need. I highly recommend visiting the website. You'll see there the link at the bottom. On the website, you can find information such as links to resources, contact info, and you can also book an appointment with one of these specialists. And enrollment services. I know that you've met Kelsey and Christine on the chat already, but this is the contact information for enrollment advisors, both domestic and international. And an exciting event that's coming up that I highly encourage everyone here to register for is our first annual virtual open house. So mid-May, Royal Roads University, we're hosting an open house, and we're allowing kind of a sneak peek of seeing all about what we're about, learning more about the different resources, getting to know the schools better as well. So this is the schedule here. I know on May 12th, Zhenyi will be speaking more about the School of Communication and Culture, and we also will have a really great session on May 13th. So you can register. Andrea will be popping a link in the chat. I highly recommend registering for this, and we'll be sending out more details as they come up. Wonderful. Well, that brings us to the end of our presentation. And now is the time that I would love to open up the floor for questions. And I will stop sharing my screen and invite Juana and Zhenyi back up.
I think there is one question about the reference letter. What are my options if I don't have a recent reference from a professor? So Amara, are you going to answer that question?
I would defer to enrollment for the answer of that one. I'm not sure the correct answer.
Yeah, my understanding is actually for the applicants, they would require the applicants to provide reference letters either from your previous teachers, your instructors, or from your professional work. For instance, your colleagues or your co-workers who can demonstrate your previous work experience, your interest in the field, and which also help us to learn your background as an applicant, as an individual. Great. So I saw that question was answered by Christine. Thank you.
Wonderful. And I also wanted to invite the room, because we're a bit of a smaller group, if you wanted to verbally ask a question, we're very open to that too. And to verbally ask a question, you just use the raise hand function, and that will notify us that you have a question, and we'll invite you to unmute your microphone and turn on your video if you want, but you can also do it just through unmuting your microphone. Oh, I see another question has come in here. I have already received a conditional offer of acceptance from Royal Roads for this program. I wanted to know, what is the length post-study work visa after this program? The Royal Roads website says 3 years for an 18-month program with no scheduled breaks. Does this program have scheduled breaks?
Yeah, so to answer this question in short, the program schedule actually meets the requirement of the post-working graduate permit. So if you want to check more details about the post-graduate working permit, you can go to our webpage.
I'm also happy to jump in and just reiterate what Juana just said. Hi, everyone. My name is Kelsey. I work as one of the certified immigration advisors here at Royal Roads. There's a team of us that help support the international students in navigating these study permit and post-grad work permits. So what we have seen in the past is graduates from the MAIIC program are meeting the 3-year post-grad work permit eligibility. With that said, it is the discretion of the immigration officer who does review the application, but we will provide a letter of completion upon graduation that does support that this is a condensed master's program. And typically they do recognize it as comparable to a 2-year master's completed in Canada. So I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelsey. That very much helps. Wonderful. So I see some hands being raised. The first hand I saw raised was Carl. So Carl, I will invite you to unmute your mic and ask your question.
Yeah, hello, good evening. Yeah, so please, I wanted to know, in case you don't make it into the program, is there any arrangement? Maybe you can undertake maybe an undergrad, maybe for a year, then get into the master's program. Is that possible?
I can jump in here as well, if you like. Yeah, so those who don't meet the stated admission requirements for the program, whether that be specifically the academic requirement, so the degree requirement, there are some measures that we do have in place, whether that be completing what's called our academic writing and critical thinking course, or completing some upgrading through our Global Language and Learning Center. So we do have conditional letter of admission, but we don't have a program that would say bridge a student who only has a, say a 3-year degree as opposed to a 4-year degree. So in those types of situations, we would recommend that someone go back and gain an additional year of academic experience and then try to reapply for the program.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Kelsey. And the next hand I see raised is Jean. Would you like to unmute and ask your question?
Hi there. I've got a question in regards to this master's program in intercultural relations. I'm actually really interested in doing projects in Indigenous communities, and that's related to sort of where I work in the mineral exploration sector. So I'm curious, in this program, is there opportunities to do projects or write, you know, sort of a thesis or something along those lines? So I just want to kind of learn a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's a good question, and thank you so much for asking. So yeah, definitely Indigenous community is part of the intercultural and international communication, which deals with the intercultural connection and the work with different cultural groups. And as I mentioned in the program curriculum, there are 2 different options as milestone project. One is the intercultural learning project, and you can take that course as a chance and to do some learning project, engage with the indigenous community. And this will be very much practice-based. For instance, you can help the community to develop a communication plan or sort of a proposal, or which may speak to the interest or particular questions the community is facing with. So the intercultural learning project is very much practice-based. And we have another program option, which is research paper. If you are interested in that option, actually it will also allow you to write a particular research question, tackle indigenous community, indigenous communication issues. But as you can tell, this is very much a research paper, which will be framed based on particular research question and use certain method to gather data and to tackle this research question and to write your research paper. And there are also multiple formats for you to deliver the research paper, which means it's not always theory-based research paper. It can be action-based research as well. This is one of the features of the programs at Railroads.
That's great, thank you. And one really quick question about the 2 weeks residency, and it's got to be on campus. I assume all the housing and stuff like that is taken care of, or how does that usually work?
I will ask if Glenda, you're online, you can answer that question.
Hi, yes. There is housing, temporary housing available on campus. I'm just going to find the link for that unless somebody else can find it first. But yes, it is available for accommodations during residency. I will share the link now.
Okay, wonderful. And also, like, you know, with COVID and stuff like that, how do you foresee, you know, or what has been done in the 2 weeks integration, you know, with currently I'm in Squamish and traveling to Victoria. I'm not sure if it's considered mandatory. So I just want to find out what are the rules surrounding this.
Well, we hope that will not be the story next year. And we are closely monitoring the situation. The current blended cohort is now taking their residency online. Like, we have to move the residency online, and this is their first week residency. And Tanya, Glendola, and I, we just met them, greeted them, starting the residency on Monday. And it's unfortunate we have to convert that online, and we really hope that next year this time, when we run the residency for the 2022 cohort, it will be in person on campus. And but we will let the students know well in advance about our program. And especially if you are registered, you will keep receiving emails from us about, you know, how we will respond to the changes, and as well as to international students, because we are aware that international travel at this moment is very difficult. And like Jean, you said, you know, cross health authority boundary is also quite challenging right now in British Columbia. But we hope that won't be the story next year or in this fall. But either way, we will make sure that you have a productive residency learning experience.
That's great. Thank you so much. It's super helpful.
Thank you. Wonderful. So I see a question came in the chat, and then I will ask that question. Then Rijas, I will ask a question from you and invite you to unmute. The question in the chat that came up here is, how good is Victoria, BC with job opportunities post our studies at Royal Roads?
Yeah, I'll answer that question first, and then might invite my colleagues for more input. So actually, we do see our students who already had some experience in the field of intercultural and international communication, and they actually have a particular career development goal before they come to the program. And a clear defined career development goal will definitely help people to connect with those organizations and to start the practice early in order to have a very successful career. So to answer that question, the job opportunity really depends on your personal interest and yourself goal for career development. And over the years, we have seen many of our students who have a very clear mind about what they would like to do, what kind of job they want to find after graduating from the program. And they are more successful in their career development. And along the studies in the program, they will also have a lot of support from the instructors, faculties, as well as the administrative team. So they will have chance to participate in those practice-based projects, work with organizations and communities. So those all lead to the professional skill and competence development. So I would also say that's one of the benefits of our program, which can help students to develop their career and find a job successfully.
Thank you. And I also wanted to add as well that if you're interested in seeing where our alumni are, we have a link popped in the chat there, as well as please reach out to Enrollment and mention that you're interested in meeting and connecting with alumni. We have a really strong Royal Roads alumni, and we can connect you and you can talk to them and see where they're at and create that network.
Yeah, I will also quickly add here that we have about 400 graduates from this program. And we have a very big Facebook group, which is private, only for the current and graduate students. And it's a very strong network in Canada and internationally. And our alumni helping each other for them to find a job and for their career development. And that's also very much valued by our current and graduate students. And check on the chat box. We have all the links and emails for you to connect with our alumni. And I give you a quick example that last month we have a prospect student asked me about, what's the job market in Ottawa, and who has graduated and studied from Ottawa. So I give them two names, and they was happily helping her, and she's really excited, like seeing like how well we are connected. Basically, in each city in Canada, we have graduates, and they are all very happy, like to welcome new students in this field. And so don't hesitate to connect with us if you like to learn more about their previous experience, how they handle commuting to the campus, and how they develop in their current community. Thank you.
Wonderful. I will invite the next person to unmute. Rishas, I'm sorry if I've mispronounced your name. You're welcome to unmute and ask your question.
Okay, yeah, it's Rishas only. You corrected. Okay, so my question is, actually I applied for 2021 September intake. So I applied in approximately in March. So I just want to check how long it will take to receive the offer letter, because I'm completely relying on educational loan, and after that the visa procedures and all. So is it realistic to expect for joining in 2021 September intake itself?
That would be a question that I would pose to Kelsey.
Sure, I can absolutely jump in. Yeah, so just to give international applicants an idea, the current processing time right now is about 10 to 12 weeks, so prepare for that. The processing time begins once all of the application documents are received and reviewed to be considered complete. So that's when that 10 to 12 week time frame starts. And then just, yeah, ensure that you give yourself ample time when making a decision of what intake to apply to based on visa processing times. I can post a link here to the country-specific study permit processing times. In regards to the specifics of that application, I'm happy to look into it following the webinar. So I'll just pop my email address in the chat box here, and I can certainly look into your application status.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you, Rishas, and thank you, Kelsey. So I see another hand raised, Askriti or Akriti. Please correct your pronunciation of your name when you unmute yourself.
It's Akriti, so you were pretty much right. Hi everyone. So my question is, I think till about last year, this program had the opportunity for completing this particular course through an internship option, which I now see has been is not there. So I basically wanted to know if the people who are undertaking this course, this for the sessions 2021, do they have an option of doing an internship while they're studying? Will there be any credits for the internship? And what how does RRU, the university, support people to get internships? Hello?
Thank you. That is a great question. I see Juana might have left the call, so I'll keep an eye out to see if she's back in. But Zhenyi, I will pose that question about internships to you.
I think Juana is the best person to answer this question because she has been supervising all the internships, and I saw that she's back. The change we made is not eliminating internship courses, but to expand it to a learning project so that the students are not like limited by only seeking for the internship host organization to take them into the internship, because on one hand, not every organization qualifies as an internship host. On the other hand, their internship term and the length may not really match with our course requirement. And so we modified that to a learning project, which can be also, an internship, but then you can also take that learning project in other places abroad and for multiple organizations or for one organization, and so it's more flexible. It doesn't mean we don't offer internship. It just means we offer it in a more flexible way. I will pass to Juana to elaborate further.
Yeah, sorry. So my internet is not very stable and I was frozen. So just to reconnect again. I didn't really follow that question, but I guess it's about intercultural learning project move forward. So
and about internships as well,
right.
How that's changed.
Right. So as my colleague just mentioned, as a new option of the program, intercultural learning project actually will also offer the opportunity for students to work with community, to work with organizations on a particular project. So this could be really driven and initiated by student interest in terms of their personal and professional development. So they can come up with their own goals, their own questions, and bring it to work organization and collaborating with organization and community to tackle particular issues, working with in the intercultural learning project. So this is quite different from the internship, as we see for internship, many times students will be restricted by those parameters of the organizational settings, and they're asked to do some billing work or routine work with the organizations. So intercultural learning project actually also offer more opportunity for students to explore their professional development interest and to work with organizations and communities to conduct a meaningful project.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your reply. I have a couple of more questions, but I can wait if others are waiting. Or should I just
Okay.
ask them?
If you wanted to ask one of the questions that you most want to know, and then I see Mary has her hand up, and then we'll be wrapping up today's session because we're coming up to the end of the hour. And if any questions have not been answered today, please connect with us. There's so many ways you can reach out, and we're happy to help. So yeah, feel welcome to ask the most pressing of questions.
Right. Okay. So this is also somewhat related to immigration. So I think Kelsey would be a good person to answer this. So I have been given a conditional offer right now, and the conditional offer is dependent on me submitting official transcripts and obtaining a study permit. So I wanted to inform you that in order to obtain a study permit, I need to present an unconditional offer to the Canadian Embassy. So this is a little, so I'm a little confused as to how do I go about this.
Yeah, no problem. So the actual condition of submitting a study permit won't be on your official letter of acceptance that you use for the study permit application. So if you want an unconditional letter of acceptance before you apply for the study permit, just get in those official transcripts. Once those have been received and processed in the International Admissions Office, you can follow up with an email to them and just say that you're requesting a revised letter of acceptance. And then you'll use that for your study permit.
All right, okay. And also, so those official transcripts, is it all right if I obtain them from my university in a sealed package and I can post them to you? Because my university doesn't send any letters directly to other institutions. But they'll be sealed, they'll be stamped by the university in an unopened envelope, if it's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. They can send them to you and then you can just forward them on to us. No problem.
All right, perfect, perfect. I shall do that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you. Those are great questions. And I know many people in the room were probably wondering about that as well. And the last question from Mary, you're welcome to unmute yourself. Oh. Might have frozen. So I'm going to wrap up today's session just to be mindful of everybody's time, but thank you so much for all these questions and for attending. Thank you, Juana and Zhenyi and the whole enrollment team behind the scenes. I really appreciate everybody's time and I look forward to seeing everybody enrolled next year. Juana, Zhenyi, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Yes, thank you so much all for the participation and thank you so much for answering those questions. So I look forward to see the students. Yeah.
And thank you. And please join our open house and visit our department. Thank you very much. Don't hesitate to email us.